What's going on, guys? So I got another Supergirl movie video for you guys because there's a lot of information going out on the, a lot of the usual suspect websites about the Supergirl movie. And now, of course, this is all rumor. Nothing's confirmed. Nobody's been cast as a director. There's not even a release date for this movie. But a lot of this information is pretty interesting because there's also some movie details out there that could be, showing what this movie might be about. Before we get into the movie details and the possible villain for the movie, let's go ahead and talk about the possible director and possible Kara Zor-El that might happen. So those guys over at Geeks Worldwide posted up an article about Reed Moreno and Ella Fanning, hearing about their article of fan casting them and them actually being on board. These quotes are from the article about Reed Moreno and Ella Fanning just talking about what they thought when they heard these rumors about them possibly doing Supergirl. Actually, it's funny. Someone brought the rumor to my attention and a couple of my friends were like, "Are you doing Supergirl?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" Then I looked and it was all over Twitter, but I also saw one thing that said, "Is it too early to fan cast Ella Fanning as Supergirl?" And Reed and Ella were like, "Can we do it together?" Instantly, I was laughing so hard and I texted Elle, and we were like, whoosh. Moreno also said Ella would be an awesome Supergirl. It would be a really fucked up Supergirl and really cool. In one of my previous Supergirl videos, I did mention that WB is looking for a female director. Reed Moreno is somebody that is on the top of their list apparently, and she is just coming out with a pretty popular movie right now that is called I Think We're Alone Now, that stars Ella Fanning and Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones fame. If you haven't seen the trailer for it, it looks pretty awesome and it's very like eerie and interesting, and I'm definitely gonna check that out when I can because I want to see her skills and like just as a director and like the kind of things she does with characters, because I don't know, man, I'm really interested to see what she could do with the Supergirl movie. Here's another quote about Moreno's thoughts on actually directing Supergirl. "I don't know if it's really a thing, but I like the idea of doing something new every time, so I don't say no to an idea. I'm always thinking how I can bring something new to the table but still feel authentic to the story. Not doing something just for the sake of doing something new. But if there's a reason for me to do Supergirl in particular, then I would like to do it. I'm always down for people trying something new but staying authentic to the story." So she's already got, she's already got me interested in her directing a Supergirl movie. Now I will say I don't know too much about Ella Fanning, and I think I've seen one or two of her movies, so I'm not too familiar with her as an actress. But I will say with the plot details or the details of the movie that are floating out there, she might actually be a pretty decent actress because she looks so young. The reason I say this is because apparently the Supergirl movie is going to feature a teenage Kara Zor-El. This is from the Geeks Worldwide article about the movie. "The film will follow a teenage Kara in high school similar to Spider-Man Homecoming. Some of the first half of the film will take place on Krypton, with the Earth portion of the film set to take place in the 70s. Brainiac is also rumored to be the villain." Boom! Brainiac, which I find really crazy because Henry Cavill said that if he did Man of Steel 2, he wanted Brainiac to be his villain.
I think a great villain would be Brainiac. I think that'd be a good villain to play against.
Why is that?
He's a big threat. He's a lot of fun. There's a lot to him. There's a lot of storylines to him.
Which kind of sucks. They're like, well, we're not going to make Man of Steel 2, but we'll take your Brainiac idea. That kind of sucks. But again, this is just a rumor. There's no confirmation of this. But the biggest thing is that they want to take the Earth portion of the film to be in the 70s. Now, if you've seen any of the DCEU films, you know that none of those take place in the 70s or before the 70s. So it'd be really interesting to see how Supergirl is going to tell her story and not involve anybody else that is actually in the DCEU. Somebody did point out on Twitter that nobody knew about Wonder Woman existing, so it shouldn't be that hard for Supergirl, which I gotta say that is a pretty solid point. And let's not forget there was that Man of Steel Easter egg where Clark was going through the Kryptonian ship, and there was that pod that was actually opened where a lot of people were saying that that was Kara Zor-El's pod. And I don't know, I mean, Zack Snyder could probably confirm that if he hasn't already. But yeah, so it's very possible that they won't go with the Supergirl show or the comic books of, Clark finding Supergirl or anything like that. They won't go with that kind of stuff, and they'll just go with Supergirl was alive before Clark, and bada bing bada boom, that's just what we're gonna do, which I don't really have a problem with that, especially if Supergirl went into hiding, or maybe she got like frozen in ice or something like that. I don't know, they could do a whole bunch of things because this is a superhero movie, but I think a majority of this film will depend on what is going to happen with Henry Cavill. We thought he's gonna be out. I made that video saying that he's gone, but then his, you know, agent is saying like, no, he's just putting his cape in the closet for a little bit, blah, blah, blah. WB does like a whole nonchalant kind of like, yeah, he's, you know, still with us, he's not with us, kind of no answer kind of statement. And Henry Cavill made that weird Instagram video about him kind of just showing a doll of Superman and having a Krypton shirt and all that jazz. So we don't really know what's happening there. I think it's just, you know, I think each side is putting pressure on the other one to try to make something happen. WB's like, you know what, we're just gonna freaking make a Supergirl movie. But I'm hoping that Henry Cavill comes back because I thought he was an amazing Superman. But I think what they do with this film is all going to depend on what's happening there. Hopefully that kind of interferes, because I would love to see Supergirl and Superman on the same screen, and that would be amazing, and just seeing that, you know, freaking family relationship between two supers. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. I do kind of think it sucks that they're just going to take Henry Cavill's Brainiac idea and use it for Supergirl. But again, this is all rumors. None of this is confirmed. Nobody's been offered roles or anything like that. But do let me know your thoughts and ideas for a Supergirl movie in the comment sections down below. Guys and gals, if you haven't seen any of my other videos, please go check those out. Give them some love. It really helps out the channel. Also, give this video some love with a thumbs up. Or also hit that subscribe button for any future content that is going to be on this channel. Because it really, you know, it's just, it's cool. Anyways, guys, as always, I'm your host, JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. Have I been doing this with juice? See you guys next time. Bye!